What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name's Ben Kepler.
I'm Lou Bertha. How you guys doing? I am back.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. I'm Ben Yukonis.
Yeah, as he preluded to, Lou is back. Unfortunately, fortunately,
I'm here with the hot takes.
the Mexican border guards have apparently allowed him
I
back.
slid right through.
Yeah, we need better border control for you. Let's get into the games, guys. First thing I did want to talk about was the Texans game, the Texans and the Jets. My plus 750 bet of the week. Once again, we were one off. And you know what? It's the same theme. It was the team. I picked the wrong team. All the stats that I picked for the game were perfectly fine. Yeah. But I thought the Texans would pull this off, and the Jets, they got away with it.
It was a good game.
It was a really good game. I won't lie. Highlights of that game were really Garrett Wilson. His catches were insane. I did kind of want to talk about his pass with you guys here in a moment, but let's take a look at the stats and everything for this game. Aaron Rodgers really had probably one of his best games of the season, I think.
I think he had his best one.
Vintage Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty decent.
Vintage Aaron Rodgers in that second half. For
yeah.
Sure.
Jets did put Alan Lazard on IR. It didn't seem to matter. They just moved Malachi Corley up into the lineup. Rodgers went 22 of 32 for 211 yards, 3 touchdowns. Breece Hall had a decent day as well. He had 15 carries that produced 74 yards. In the passing game, he was also used twice for 11 yards. Malachi Corley, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did watch
it. Okay. Did you see him drop his very first NFL touchdown?
And right in the end zone.
Right at the goal line?
He did it to Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he did the Deshaun Jackson.
Where he dropped the ball right at the goal line.
Right at the goal line, and it would have been his first of his career.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Ouch.
Yeah,
ouch.
Big oof.
But other than that, I mean, they did really well. Devontae Adams got his first big productive game with the Jets. He got his first touchdown as a Jet. He had 91 yards. Too. Yeah, it was a nice catch. 91 yards, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown, and then. Like I said, the guy of the game here was Garrett Wilson. He had 9 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, both touchdowns wild.
Yeah. The one might be like the catch of the year.
Yeah, honestly,
100%.
that one-handed, it almost looked like he was like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
that was sick.
Yeah.
On the other side of the field, just to cover their stats, and then I want to talk about that catch a little bit with you guys. C.J. Stroud, kind of on a
pedestrian day.
Yeah, and it's a trend too.
Yeah. It is.
It's been a trend. He did lose his top 2 wide receivers. One of them will be coming back in Nico Collins, probably next week, maybe the week after.
I think it was last Saturday where we were talking about C.J. Stroud and how I said he was always a start.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case anymore. He's struggling.
Moving down the line for sure, especially when you've seen that Russell Wilson was able to pick apart this defense and then C.J. Stroud was not able to.
He was only 11 for 30.
11 for 30, 191 yards. He was sacked a bajillion times.
Yeah, they got problems on their O-line, too.
For sure. They were trying to trade away Kenyon Green. He got injured in that game, so that is no longer something they can look for. Joe Mixon had probably the best day of any one of the Texans by a long shot
100%.
as well.
Yeah, he's their only bright spot. Well,
Tank
Dell did decent.
Good.
But Mixon on the ground, guys, 24 carries for 106 yards. He had a touchdown, 4.4 average per carry. Was he used in the pass game? No. But that's all right. Tank Dell had a great game as well as the number 1 wide receiver. 6 catches, 126 yards. The speedster went off. He did not have a touchdown, but that's okay because that kind of production right there, full PPR, 18.6 for Tank Dell, who's probably either your wide receiver 3 or flex.
Flex.
That's a great. That's a great play.
It's a good play.
And I think that Garrett Wilson puts himself in conversation for top 10 wide receivers fantasy for the year.
Yeah.
Easily. Every week he's been producing. He was on a 100-yard streak. He didn't get 100 yards. He got 90, but he got 2 touchdowns, so who cares?
Yeah.
Right? Speaking about his 1 touchdown, guys, I did kind of want to go over. I've seen a lot of conversation about this on social media this week in regards to that catch. I kind of explained it to you a little bit this weekend, and I think I did an okay job of it, of like breaking
I get it.
it
That's
down.
a stupid rule.
It is dumb, but it makes sense in it's right. You know what I mean? So what it is, guys, is the whole, first we had George Pickens hopping on 1 foot twice. That doesn't count as 2 feet. But then you seen Garrett Wilson, who he landed and his shin dragged on the ground before anything went out of bounds. And that was a touchdown. Everybody's like, what? How does that make sense?
George Pickens' dad was
Yeah.
real mad about it on Twitter.
I'm sure. I'm sure he was. And this is why, guys, because the NFL states that the only two things that are supposed to count as feet are your hands and your feet. And so, what the 2 feet represents is body control inbounds.
Yes.
And that's what that's supposed to represent. But at the same exact time, say a butt cheek, an elbow, a knee, a shin in this instance, or maybe even you roll over in his
Forearm.
Head.
yeah, forearm. He hits his head
Shoulder.
first.
Yeah.
Any of those things count as body control because it is a piece of the body. So that is why it counts in that, right?
Just your hands and your feet.
Just your hands and
Or
your feet,
or
or
your
something that
feet.
needs to be opposite side, or not opposite sides, but if it's a hand and a foot,
One,
It has to be both.
One,
it has to
and
be
it's stated it's not 2 feet in the rule book. It's both
feet. Both feet.
So what happens if it was like 1 foot and then you were falling forward and you smacked it with
One
your
hand, that would count
That
as,
would
as
count.
2 different, phalange
That'd
or
be good.
limbs
Yeah.
touching the ground.
Yeah,
so that would
I
count.
think that would count.
It would. It would. But that's the reason for that, guys. So just so you know, we just kind of wanted to break that down a little bit and kind of touch base on that. But let me get into the next game here. One that's going to be coming up. I kind of gave my predictions yesterday out to the social media world, so I'll catch up with you guys and see what you feel on these games. I have the Saints in this game. It's going to be the Saints taking on the Panthers. Panthers are hosting. It looks like Derek Carr is back. How you feel about this? We got Bryce Young on the other
I
side.
didn't know Derek Carr was back, but I was going to take the Panthers. But
You were gonna take the Panthers,
With Derek Carr back, I think I would take the Saints.
Okay. All right. What about you over here, Ben?
I mean, I got the Saints.
Saints,
With Derek
I-
Carr returning. I mean, it opens
If
up.
it was Rattler.
It opens up the offense again, the full
Absolutely.
playbook.
Absolutely.
So I think Kamara's usage will go up.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah, I think Kamara's usage goes up. I think that if we're talking fantasy here, guys, I know that you had mentioned to me that Leggett is questionable.
Yes, he has a toe issue that came up this week in practice.
Okay, so keep your eye on him 90 minutes before the game, guys. I think that he is starting to get into a flex talk for
I
play
agree.
every single week, or maybe not every single week. Maybe there are some
He's worth a
matchup
roster
dependent.
spot.
He's definitely worth a roster spot. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure.
But when we're talking about this game and what guys we think you could consider solid starts or maybe as a flex fill for the bye weeks for the teams that are on bye this week, Alvin Kamara is the top-ranked running back for this week in projections. Just because he's taking on Carolina, he's projected in PPR almost 20 points.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. And then I think Olave is a start for you as well. If you are in a 2-quarterback system or in a super flex system, I think that Derek Carr coming back as a plug, you could put him into that play.
Is Bryce Young?
I don't think
No.
Bryce Young is a play in any
I
right.
don't either.
No.
In any right. It looks like Alan Thielen is on the mend. He should be on his way back, guys. I do think that there's a pretty big chance that Alan Thielen is on the market and not on the Panthers by the end of this next
before the
coming week.
deadline, which
Before
is
the deadline.
soon.
Deadline is
It's
This week.
It's Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Tuesday, 4 p.m. Awesome.
Eastern.
Tuesday, 4
So we're
4 p.m.
gonna
Eastern.
we're gonna have a live reaction for all
Yeah.
of that coming up on Tuesday.
It'll be
guys.
the most important thing that's happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure. On the other side of the football, I think I kind of covered. You don't think like MVS or their tight end or anybody else is a start for the Saints, right? But I did kind of want to just clean up on the Panthers real quick before we move into the next
I mean,
one.
it's just Chuba,
Chuba Hubbard,
That's
right?
it.
That's it. And Leggett possibly if you
Yeah,
really need
Leggett
him.
possibly.
What about Coker, Jalen Coker? Do you feel any sort of way?
Watch list. He's still watch
Still
list.
watch
for
list.
me.
He's not a starter.
He?
I'm getting yelled at, guys, for
Producer
the
Paul.
positioning of my microphone. I apologize. Let's get into the next game before producer Paul kicks my butt anymore. We're going to be talking about the NFC East matchup that's coming up this week. Probably a pretty one-sided
Probably
affair.
going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, but this is because the Commanders taking on the Giants. This is going to be in the Meadowlands. That does give a little bit of a plus to the Giants, not in a way that I think that they're going to win. Tracy Jr. cleared concussion
Did he
protocol.
clear?
Your
Yeah, he
boy,
did.
yeah, he's good to go. Looks like he
Thank
is
God.
taking the starting job. From
Yeah, he looks
Singletary.
smooth. I like
He
him.
looks good. I
So-
mean, he ran for 140-some yards against the Steelers. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I disagree with what you think this game's going to be. I think the Giants are going to keep this one close because the Commanders' defense is not that good.
You're right. The Commanders' defense is not
good
that
point.
good, but Jaden Daniels, though.
I understand this, but it could be just like a shootout
It's like
type
a
game.
big high-scoring game. I see that.
I could see it. See it being a high-scoring
And
game.
Daniel Jones dependent on if he's accurate with the football
And that last game,
and doesn't fumble and everything. Like so.
Daniel Jones came out. Do you know the play that T.J. Watt sacked him? He fumbled the football.
Yeah, the strip sack.
He screwed up that play. He was supposed to move the tight end across the field.
Yeah, and he didn't.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
And that's why that happened.
Yeah.
So,
So-
there are problems going on with Daniel Jones and his communication
Yeah.
skills and that for the Giants. But where do you think this game lies, dude? I took the Commanders in this. I think that they're definitely going to win this game. But how do you
I mean,
feel?
I think the Commanders win, but it's not like a blowout.
If the over-under is, which I don't know what it is at this exact second, say it's 40, would you go the over?
Taking over.
Yeah,
that.
I would take the
take
over
like
for
up
that.
to like 47.
47?
I would go.
You think
I
the
don't
game
think I
might
would-
hit 50?
Get-
might
get
hit 50.
Close, yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to
Feel that
go
way?
much over that.
Okay. Brian Robinson, he is questionable for this game. I know that he's been dinged up this week. They haven't officially announced 100% that he is going to play. I assume that he is going to, though, especially with Jaden Daniels, not 100%. They're going to want all the possible handoffs that they can
Yeah.
possibly get out of the running backs. So where do you feel, though? Do you think
I,
that this
I,
is
got, I got the Commanders.
Commanders?
I agree with Ben. It's going to be a shootout.
It's going to be a shootout. Okay. When we're looking at some fantasy starts for the Giants, Ben, I know that we were once big Wandell Robinson people.
Believers.
I watched this week drop.
I saw
Wandell.
it too, and I was
Yeah.
like,
And-
"Oh my god, my heart broke."
In every league, he has dropped him. I actually picked up the scraps. I have him now in every league. But do you think that he's a starter this week?
No, I don't think so.
Even against a bad defense, you don't
Yeah,
think?
no, I don't think so because he's just used on the single hits.
Okay.
He's a singles hitter.
He's a short play hitter,
Yeah,
too.
no, yeah, that's what I mean by singles hitter.
Oh, okay, okay.
His average yard per catch is like
4.
6 yards, or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
6, 7 yards. It's something ridiculously low,
I can see
and
it.
it's not that kind of production is not worth a fantasy play.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it could be 6 catches, but for what
28 yards?
or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
He did only produce, I think it was like 7 points the last 2 weeks, which I mean isn't the worst, but is not great.
No, you for a wide receiver that
Is-
sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have the yardage to back up the amount of catches
Yeah.
he gets.
You know, he dropped him, Lou, but do you think that Wandell Robinson deserves to be on your roster still if you're in a 12-man format?
Yeah, you could keep him.
I think
in
that-
a pinch.
I
But
think that he's
wouldn't
in the
be
top
starting him.
150
Yeah.
fantasy
yeah, I would
football
agree with
still.
that. I would agree with that.
Hey, I went younger and I went possibly better. So
Who'd you pick up?
Leggett.
Oh, Leggett. Okay, fair. Other than obviously Wandell, which we can't spend a lot of time on, Tracy, I think is a start no
Yeah,
matter what
I'm
in this
starting him.
situation.
Yeah, I picked him up in a league. He's starting for me.
Devin Singletary, probably we're moving him down to a possible drop, depending on his
He's on my
usage.
bench because in case Tracy gets hurt, I already had Singletary, so I picked up Tracy. I'm starting Tracy. but,
He's
I'm
become
not-
the cuff player.
Yeah, exactly. Singletary's now the cuff.
Other than that, it's neighbors obviously, and I would even if you're in double man quarterback situations, unless you absolutely have to. I don't think Daniel Jones is the big play here, but you guys say it might be a shootout. It's a possibility that
Possible.
you
he's
can
worth
play
a
him super flex.
Yeah,
The
super flex
over-under-
or 2 QB league.
44.5.
Okay, so we were about on
I
point
would
with
take
that.
over 44.
Over 44 in that game. All right. On the Commanders side of things, I think it's pretty easy to point out who we think is going to be the starters for this one. Jaden Daniels is plug and play quarterback, probably 2 this week. I put Lamar above him, but that's about it when it comes to statistical points for anyone. If Brian Robinson Jr. does play, I would assume that he's going to be a decent play for you in a flex position for a bye week filler. I wouldn't be using him as running back 2 unless you absolutely have to. Eckler, I'm not suggesting playing Eckler really here unless Brian Robinson Jr. is out. Then he will have a large uptick in his usage. And then Terry McLaurin, that's the other person I think is notable to look at here. You can play Ertz if you have a bye week this week, if you're somebody with Freiermuth or Kittle. That is a decent option. They're putting Ertz in to fill that week. You think so too, Ben?
Yeah.
Covering for Kittle or Freiermuth? Yeah. Let's move into the next game here. This one is also going to be a rivalry matchup. One team seems to have the upper hand in this and has for a very long time. This is going to be the Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins in Buffalo. I took the Bills. The Bills have crushed the Miami Dolphins in all of the last games that they've played each
and
other.
it's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You both feeling the Bills take
I know
this?
my heart wants to take the Dolphins.
I want to,
but-
yeah, same. I want to say the Dolphins can win this game, but I don't think they will.
I don't think they can.
Like-
I just
Yeah.
that's the thing. I just don't think that they. I think that for whatever reason, you know how the Pittsburgh Steelers have Lamar Jackson's number. Well,
Yeah.
the Buffalo Bills know everything to a thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
It's
whole
just
9
like-
yards on him.
And I think the Dolphins will probably overthink it for the same, because they never win against the Bills. So they're gonna try the same thing with the Ravens Steelers. I think Jim Harbaugh gets screwed
flustered.
up.
Yeah.
Playing against the Steelers. I think it's the same thing with this.
I could see that. Let's talk about some fantasy football starters here. Would you mind real quickly looking up what the over/under is for this? And I'm sure it's Bills probably +6 or something like that. But let's check on that. Speaking about the Dolphins, Ben, are you playing Waddle this week? Do you think he's flex worthy, wide receiver 3 worthy, or is he someone that you should be comparing with other people to potentially not have a roster spot or not roster spot, but starting spot at this moment?
I mean, I'm playing him because I have to play him.
Playing him because you have to play him. I mean, there's probably a lot of people who are in your situation, to be completely
So
honest.
yeah, but I mean, he's wide receiver 3 at best right now.
Wide receiver 3 at best. I would agree with that. Tyreek Hill,
He's a
fully
start.
back though.
Yeah, he's fully back.
I would say
He's fully
Tyreek Hill's a
back.
plug and play
it's
W2.
it's a tough matchup. So,
Okay.
but I mean, I would still play Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Is my boy a start?
Tua?
Raheem the Dream?
Oh, I forgot he even
No.
existed.
Hey, he had 15 points last week.
Yeah, he was-
on
he was
9
strictly-
carries for 19
for
yards.
crap yards. Hey,
He
it's
was
not-
strictly a touchdown
yeah,
vulture.
15
like,
points is 15 points.
the ultimate cup.
Lou only loves goal line players. Jalen Hurts, Raheem Mostert, he loves them. I would say Raheem Mostert is not a start in this game specifically because I think the run game kind of gets shut down. I think Achane is an option for you to play. Hill is an option for you to play. Like these are for sure. You can put them in. I don't think Tua is a play unless you're in 2 quarterback or super flex situation.
You don't think Tua's a play?
I don't think he's a play over a lot of other quarterbacks. No, last week he did not do good in his return.
He had 15, 16 points. That's not great, but
Yeah, exactly.
He's a
There's better
play
options.
for 2 QB league and super flex.
You think he is?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
On the opposite side of the field, I think we covered everybody for the Miami Dolphins. For the Bills, I think there's a select a couple names that you could take in this game. Obviously, Josh Allen is like QB3 this week. I think that James Cook is a play.
James Cook is RB1.
Is RB. He's an
RB1
RB1 play. Yeah,
class.
for sure. I think that Keon Coleman is a play. I think that your buddy Shakir is a decent
Also
play.
a play.
If Amari Cooper does play, guys, he has a wrist injury. If he plays, I think that he will have a comeback week. He did really bad last week. Didn't have much usage in the game. Probably had something to do with just being new to the team and learning the play style. Do you think Kincaid's a start in this game, Ben? I don't love Kincaid,
don't-
but I
I
know
don't
we're in
love
bye weeks.
Kincaid right now either.
I just don't think that he's a big part of the offense, and I think that Ray
Yeah.
Davis is a decent bench spot or watch list player. But other than that, for the Bills, I don't think there's really much because I don't love Kincaid
Yeah, no, it sucks about Kincaid because he was drafted kind of high
in fantasy.
in fantasy.
Yeah.
for
Probably in the top 10 tight ends that went off the board this
yeah,
year.
Yeah,
I imagine.
100%.
and like he hasn't been
Hasn't
the top
been
10 tight end.
hasn't been much at all. I don't think so.
The spread is Dolphins +6.
Yeah. Wow, I was right on the guess.
And the over/under is 49.5. They think it's going to be a shootout. And I would not take.
I would
over.
not take that in this game. I would take the under, and I would take the Bills -6 probably if I'm taking. Would you agree with me on that one? Under, like Bills are going to win by
I don't
6.
think I would take Bills -6. That kind of sketches me out. But
Oh,
I
you're going
would-
to take
I would-
Miami +6 and then.
I would-
the
yeah,
under?
I guess I would. Yeah, maybe I would take
Okay.
Miami +6 and the under.
Okay. Next game, guys, that I wanted to talk about here is the first game that isn't a rivalry matchup of
Yeah.
the week.
And it should be. I guess it's an all right game. I'll tell you what, I won't be watching it.
Oh,
Producer
boy.
Paul says he's having some issues with us. I'm guessing maybe
It looks like we're fine on
maybe they
TikTok.
can't hear us.
Video is cut off, homies. Never mind.
Oh.
Well,
Really? Oh boy.
Oh well, here we'll just keep
this is
chatting.
the one time I don't have a mic in or a headset in.
Oh yeah, you don't have a headset piece in. Well, here we'll just keep talking about.
What do you want to talk about? Football?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about football. I'm just gonna. Oh, Seth, what's up, dog? He says the audio is fine. It looks like the video is fine now
The video
too.
with blackout and comeback audio is good.
Seth, let us know, homie, before we get back to it. Is
Yeah. Well, the audio's good. So we
okay.
can keep
Yeah,
it.
we'll keep on with the audio. Guys, the next game we're going to talk about here is going to be the Chargers. They're going to be heading out to the Great Lakes to take on the Cleveland Browns. This game could go either way with Jameis Winston being in as quarterback for the Browns. I love Jameis.
I love Jameis
Everything
too.
that Jameis has been doing, dog, has been awesome. Like,
He's
all of
hilarious.
his interviews are great. Like, his pregame speeches are awesome. I don't know. I just really like Jameis. I think he's a great character. After his football career, he's definitely going to be an announcer somewhere. And I'm gonna love it.
100%.
I'm gonna absolutely love it. In this game, guys, where are you feeling?
I believe
Chargers, Browns. What do you like?
I don't really
I
like
like the
either
Browns.
of them.
You like the
Yeah,
Browns?
I would kind of
Yeah.
like the Browns.
I think
over, too.
Jameis is going to revive them
You think so?
and make them
Something.
I don't know if they'll make the playoffs at this point, but I think they'll make some noise down the stretch.
Okay.
I believe Jameis is from the same town as Charles Barkley.
That would make sense. Seth in chat says he loved watching them give the Ravens an L last week.
Yeah. I
Absolutely,
did
Seth.
too.
That was dope, man. So you guys are both leaning. You don't really want to put a bet on this game, but if you were going to lean one way, you're both leaning towards the Browns, huh?
Yeah.
I can agree with you that I feel that energy too, but I did take the Chargers in this one just because they're the better team.
They are the better team.
You know,
so
they're-
like
they're a better
I will admit that they're the better team, but I mean I would like to see the Browns
And the Browns at home
kind
too.
of have a comeback season.
That would
After
be
getting
cool.
rid of they didn't get rid of Deshaun Watson and got hurt, but so
God help take care of that
yeah,
situation.
right. He said fine.
Yeah, he says, all right, get
I'll
rid
do
of this
it
guy. He's getting
myself.
too popular for no reason. When we're looking at some fantasy starters for the Browns and Chargers game, I do think there are some select players that you could be playing in this game. One of the flyers for this week that a lot of people have been asking about has been Cedric Tillman, the wide receiver, who has taken the place of Amari Cooper. He did have a really good game last week. He had the touchdown that won them the game.
I guess now with Jameis throwing to him,
Mm-hmm.
that could maybe be worth a pickup.
I think
I don't know if I would personally do it, but it could be worth it.
I think he's worth a bench spot, guys. And if you really needed him this week, you could plug and play him. And that's purely just because of the bye weeks and all the wide receivers that are missing because of injury and everything else. I don't think he's the best of best options here, but I do think he makes like probably the top 40, 30 wide receivers on the week. So, I mean, if you need to, you can play him. Jerry Jeudy, I don't like as much as Tillman. Elijah Moore is picking up trade rumor talk that he might be off of the Browns by the end of this week. He might be one of the wide receivers on the move. My biggest plays for the Cleveland side of things, I think is probably Njoku, is numero uno.
Yeah.
I think he's probably top 5 tight
Oh,
end this
Nick
weekend.
Chubb.
Oh, well, Nick Chubb. Yeah, Nick Chubb as well. But, I mean, I think that the market that Nick Chubb is in for running backs, I think he's farther down the list than Njoku is. I think Njoku's like top 5 this week. in
Oh,
tight
yeah,
ends.
yeah, okay,
You know what I mean?
I
think,
like Tillman though. I think he's a sneaky play.
You think he's a sneaky
I think
play?
he's a
I can
sneaky play
agree with
again.
you on that. I don't hate him. It's weird to admit that a guy like that is going to be a decent start just because of the chemistry of the wide receiver rooms across the NFL right now. It's just injuries and everything else. But other than that, yeah, Nick Chubb, I think Jameis Winston, maybe you could put Jameis Winston for your quarterback 2 or a
Yeah.
super flex.
That's what I'm doing this week.
There you go. On the Chargers side of thing, it gets a lot slimmer, though, guys. I don't think that there's a lot to look at on the Chargers side of the ball. I think you got J.K. Dobbins, and maybe you could play Herbert.
McConkey.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I did forget old lad McConkey. Other than that, those are the only 3 guys that I would
Yeah.
put any suggestion on the Chargers
Agreed.
team. I would not play the Chargers
They're
defense.
such a boring team.
Yeah, they
The
are a boring
Chargers,
team.
They're like sleepy as football.
Well, they sold everybody, so because of the cap problems. But yeah, so it looks like they're taking the Browns. I'm taking the Chargers. We're saying stay away from betting on this game. Next game is going to be another one of those super
sleepy
fun ones.
games.
This game features the New England Patriots. They are going to be taking on the Titans. We are not sure who's going to be starting at quarterback for the Titans this week. I'm assuming it's going to be Mason Rudolph, but Will Levis did get limited practices in all week, so maybe he comes back.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a
I don't know if
situation
that's
to
the best for
avoid.
them.
Yeah.
I believe Tony Pollard is questionable.
Tony Pollard has not. Okay, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Tony Pollard has not played or practiced all week. It's assumed that he will not be playing this week. Tajay Spears is already announced to be out. So you know who that leaves as a starting running back?
No, I don't.
Julius Hot Dog Chestnut will be probably starting at running back for the Titans this week. I don't think he's a terrible play.
I mean, I would plug and play him if I needed to this week.
The New England Patriots are
On name alone.
Yeah, they are the sixth worst defense in the NFL against the run. So Julius Chestnut should be able to find some holes in this game. I think he might be an okay flex play this week. If you're covering for injuries and really need somebody, you could maybe play him over like to plug for Pollard. Other than that, though, do you think Calvin Ridley for the Titans is a play this week? Do you think you could flex him out for bye week filler? If you're someone with Debo, if you're someone,
I mean,
I don't like
Pickens.
it.
I don't like it.
you don't like it.
I don't
I
like
don't
it.
really love it either. I don't think that the
I mean,
Patriots are great on defense
'cause-
like they normally are, but
Yeah, because the boom is good. The boom is good with Calvin
The
Ridley
boom.
when he booms.
he brings the
boom.
It's just when the bust goes bust.
he gets the bus,
It's a literal bust.
the doom. I think that's what they do.
Doom.
So like it's too hit or miss with Ridley for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's really hit or miss as well for Ridley. He's not my favorite for this week.
Yeah.
I don't think that really, guys, there is much on the Titans side of the football that I am.
I'm not touching anyone on the.
Yeah,
I have Pollard.
I'm staying away from this.
Pollard
game.
and
I don't
Julius
have
Chestnut.
anybody.
That would be the only two guys that I would even consider playing in this game, and you'd only probably
Pollard,
play-
I don't think's playing.
Yeah, so
No, he's
Julius
probably-
Chestnut,
Julius
baby.
Chestnut. I'm about to pick him up.
Patriots side of the ball, things haven't been going too well. They did beat was it the Jets last week? Did they beat? Yes, they beat
It
the
was
Jets.
the
last
Jets.
week. They are back with Jacoby Brissett for the time being because Drake May is injured. Concussion protocol for him. He hasn't been able to make it out from what I can see of concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Drake May. So
Old reliable Jacoby Brissett.
So I mean
I don't
that
know
puts
about
Ramondre Stevenson in for
yeah, I think
RB1 status.
Ramondre Stevenson can be a play for you this week on the Patriots side, and I think the only other
That's it.
two guys, well, you could maybe go with Douglas as a watch list player, and then Hunter Henry for a filler tight end.
Yeah.
That-
I mean,
Dude,
That's it.
Jacoby Brissett is like approaching Ryan Fitzpatrick levels of like being like one of the best backups.
Well, that's your opinion.
yeah, okay.
The journeyman, dude.
He is a journeyman. I'll give you that.
Hot takes.
He's
Get
a-
your hot takes here.
Yeah, get your hot
He's
takes
competent.
here.
He's more than competent.
I took the Patriots in this game, guys. Who do you take?
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah,
It's gonna tie.
you're gonna get. I'm
Yeah,
taking you for your
sleepy
word.
game.
No,
Game, though.
No, I think the Patriots win this one.
All
Titans,
right,
Titans are garbage.
Yeah, Titans are garbage. We're running Patriots on this one, guys. Next game, NFC
I mean,
matchup.
they're both garbage. But
Yeah, they are both garbage. This is the Dallas Cowboys, who not looking so hot, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. This will be in Atlanta. Kirko Bangs,
Yeah, dude.
Chains,
Kirko
whatever.
Chains.
Kirko has
Kirko
been doing
Chains.
great. 4 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts with 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Pitts,
Yeah.
doing great as well. If we're looking at who the winner is here, guys, I took Atlanta. Who do you
I'm
got?
taking Atlanta, and I don't like the Cowboys though, so that is partially biased on my end. But I'm taking Atlanta. I think I could step away and still take Atlanta.
Okay.
Fuck them, boy. Sorry for cursing.
we asked him to do one thing. Anyways,
Anyways.
what do you got in this game, Ben? While I secretly stab him in the stomach. underneath the table?
I want the Falcons to win this game, and I think the Falcons will win this game.
Okay, he's putting it into the air, folks. He thinks it's the Falcons.
Falcons.
I'll run through fantasy starters for this because I think this one's pretty easy to pick your fantasy starters. I think you could go with both quarterbacks. I think both quarterbacks will be fine in this game. I think that you can play Bijan, no problem. I think you can play Pitts, no problem. He's probably going to be top 5 tight end this week again. I think London's an okay play. What about Mooney? How you feeling? I think so. Mooney's been doing enough to tell me that I could play him in a wide receiver 3 position. if
Yeah,
I'm in
wide
full
receiver
PP.
3, flex him.
Yeah, full PPR. I'm definitely going with him. Other Falcons, I can't really think of anybody.
Algier, but he's not. I don't think he's a
I
starter.
wouldn't play
he's not the
Algier.
You
starter.
named all the ones that
Yeah.
are
Yeah, I think I named all of them for
playable
Falcons.
fantasy wise.
Cowboys, only person other than Dak.
CD.
CD Lamb,
CD and maybe Ferguson for tight end.
maybe Ferguson.
That would
but
be it. I don't like Rico. I don't like Zeke. I don't like Dalvin Cook.
I don't like them boys.
I don't like them boys.
Yeah, just
No,
don't like
sir.
them boys.
We're all taking the Falcons in this one, guys. Next game, it's a little bit better than the last one, but not much. I think
These
this game will
1
actually
o'clock
be
games kinda
close.
suck though.
1 o'clock games aren't the best this week, but I do think this one will be a little bit exciting. There'll just be some weird freak things that happened in this game for some reason. This is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to be heading out to the Cincinnati Bengals, the home of Skyline Chili.
Yeah.
In this game, I don't really see a lot for the Raiders that tells me that they could possibly even get close to winning this game.
They
I think
beat
that the Bengals have it just because Jamar Chase and Burrows combined are way better than anything that the Raiders have. Other
Yeah,
than
but the
Brown
Raiders
Bowers.
beat the
Raiders did beat the Ravens.
Yeah,
Yes, but they had Devontae Adams at that point in time.
that is true. That is
So,
true.
so that is the one difference. I will say in this game for Cincinnati, T. Higgins is already out. Zach Moss is already out.
I don't know if he is out, but I don't think
He's doubtful.
Is he doubtful?
Yeah, he's
yeah, Zach
doubtful.
Moss is
He's
doubtful.
not a start regardless.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
sitting
no.
on my bench.
Zach
because
Moss is
Chase
falling.
Brown is the better running back.
Yep, Chase Brown, which we said. Yeah, Chase Brown is the better running back. For this game on the Bengals side of the football, I think that Chase Brown is an okay play for you. Flex position. I don't think he's RB1, RB2, but he's a flex running back. Maybe getting there to RB2, but just
Maybe.
not yet.
Not yet.
He did
Not
have a
yet.
touchdown last week, which was decent, but he only ended up with like 30-some yards. Jamar Chase is obviously going to be premier start. He's probably going to be top 5 wide receiver this week.
Yeah, this is a good matchup.
I'm taking the Raiders, though, to be honest with you.
All right, you do that. Yeah.
I'm looking for the bet.
Are you taking the Bengals?
No, I'm taking the Raiders.
Oh, you guys are idiots.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God! Look at these two. Anyways, I think the
Bengals might be the better team, but I want the Raiders to win. So.
I mean, I want the Raiders to win as a Steeler fan. I just
Raiders
don't
are
think
only
they can.
+7 underdogs.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
+7.
that means they're going to get blown out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
according to Vegas.
only +7.
Only
Oh, they're only supposed to
Only
lose
so-
by
yeah.
7.
The way you were talking, I thought you were going to expect like +10, +9.5.
No, if it was 9.5, I'd be betting big. Anyways, guys, Jamar Chase. I don't think other than that, it's Jamar Chase, it's Brown, and it's Burrow for the Bengals side of the football. For the Raiders side of the football, I wouldn't play
literally
Minshew.
don't know any starters.
It's
You
just
do.
Brock-
Jacoby Myers,
I don't
he's your
think
boy.
He's hurt.
He's not hurt. He's
He's
back.
back. I
Yeah.
still don't even know if he's a start.
Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers, I think, are the only
Brock
two
Bowers
starters.
is, I guess, the only one.
Would you play Alexander Madison? I don't think I would play Alexander
No.
Madison.
No,
He's not
because
necessarily my
he's,
favorite.
Yeah, he's kind of trash.
Yeah, he's kind of trash in my opinion. I think that's the best way to put it. I just think he's a little bit older and he's only goal line dependent. I wouldn't really necessarily play him.
He had a game. Was it last week where he had like 14?
Yes,
rushes
14
for like
rushes for
18 yards,
15
or
yards.
something
Yes,
like that. Like,
yes, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you called that out. Yeah, he was not very good last week. I think this is the last 1 o'clock game,
Yeah,
and
this
this
may
is
be
the
one.
best
This
one.
may be the one I'm going to watch.
Yeah, this is the best one. This is the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Denver Broncos. Broncos have been on a tear a little bit. They're trending.
I have to eat crow because I remember we did one of these podcasts very early on, and I was like, the Broncos are going to be hot. It was right after the Steelers beat the crap out of them. I was like,
Okay.
it's going to be they're hot garbage. I was like, they're going to win 6 games, and they're 5-3. So I only have 1 game of leeway left, and I feel like I'm going to be eating crow.
Yeah, probably, brother. Looks like Bo Nix is finally starting to get fluent in the NFL offense. He's been doing pretty well. I ranked him in the top 10 remaining quarterbacks for the rest of the season. I think he's top 10. He's been just throwing the ball 50 times a game.
Yeah.
Like, why not? For fantasy starters for the Broncos, there ain't a lot, though. Cortland Sutton's still on the trade rumor block. I don't think he goes anywhere, though. They need him.
Yeah, they need him.
Yeah, they
They're
need
winning.
him.
Yeah, they're winning.
like,
There's
they're
no
5-3.
reason to get rid of them, in my opinion. Do you think that the Baltimore Ravens have this game in hand? This game is in Baltimore.
No, I'm taking the Broncos.
You're taking the Broncos.
Yep, and some of that is because I'm a Steeler fan.
Okay.
But I think their defense is going to maybe hold the Ravens down, and the Ravens' defense is bad.
Yeah, the Ravens defense has been kind of pathetic the
Yeah.
last couple weeks.
They get beat
Yeah.
through the air.
and
Their pass defense isn't that great.
on the reverse, the Broncos defense is really
It's
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
They've been playing great.
Yeah. Like, and they, at least in Yahoo leagues, they were getting dropped like a hot potato.
I
Yeah.
want them.
And I know.
That's
I
a
was,
pickup,
I,
guys.
I thought about it. I thought about like maybe should I drop this because they're
they're
playing
top
Lamar
3.
Jackson.
Dude, this
On
is
the
your,
season. I
Yeah,
think
they're
top
top.
3.
They're top 3 fantasy defense on
What's
the
the
season.
spread on that one there, Louis?
It's your game. 9.5.
9.5.
To the Broncos.
Oh, guys.
I'm taking Broncos plus 9.5.
Slam
Easy.
on. This is the game of the week to bet on. If it's 9.5, that's money in the bag. That lets you know. Let's go ahead and either slam. You want to slam the over or slam
The over is
plus
46.5.
46.5. Yeah. Okay. Either slam the over or slam the plus 9.5 for the Broncos. That would be my opinion for this. You could even maybe do both.
That
if you
seems
want to get
crazy
real
to
risky.
me that Vegas is giving it 9.5. I feel like this is like plus 7.
I don't know.
Plus
I'm glad-
7 Broncos I thought would have been fair. I think plus 9.5 is
I'm glad
steal.
you brought that out. I did in my weekly picks. I did take the Ravens just because this is in Baltimore. I think that gives them the edge, and Lamar Jackson pushes through. I would like to see them lose this game as a Steelers fan, though. Fantasy starters: it's King Henry, it's Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely moves down off of the starting list completely. He is kind of losing his flair in the
Mark
offense.
Andrews is back.
Isaiah unlikely.
Isaiah unlikely to do anything is exactly right. So King Henry, Mark Andrews. We'll get to see Deontay Johnson this week. Suited up
yeah,
in purple.
I forgot all about that.
I think you could go ahead and flash him into the game. Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. That would be my Ravens starters. For the Broncos, it gets really, really, really slim. It's Bo Nix and it's Cortland Sutton as a maybe, and that's it. Other
No,
than the defense.
Javante? Not Javante?
I don't love Javante. If you have to play Javante, put him into the game. But Jaleel McLaughlin, we looked on Saturday, had a better game than Javante. Remember, he had like 9 carries for 60 or 40
Yeah.
yards or something like that,
Yeah.
and Javante had like 16 carries for the same amount. So,
Jeez.
yeah, they're splitting They're splitting carries. So in that game, I'm taking the Ravens. They're taking the Broncos, guys. Remember, he found out Vegas is giving 9.5, and that's our key rule there, that you can either slam the over or slam the plus 9.5. It hits. So make sure you're paying attention to that as you're building your parlays
Does
this
hit.
weekend.
Now, hopefully, knock on wood.
It stays that way. I'm pretty sure this table's plastic,
it
though.
has been staying lit.
Next
right.
game we're going to talk about. I think this is probably the most even game of the week. It's the first of our 4 o'clock games. This is the Chicago Bears. They will be heading down to the desert to take on Arizona Cardinals. Ben, why don't you take this one away? Let me know who you would start on each team and then what team you're picking to win this game.
Yeah, so for the Bears going into the desert, I think Caleb Williams is a play.
I would play
I
him.
think he's a play for me. Swift is a play for me. It's still really hard to trust any of their receivers though,
I agree.
because it's
Yeah.
just one week it's DJ Moore, the next week it's Keenan Allen, the other week it's Roma Dunze, and then it's just like which week
Cole Kmet,
who-
too.
who-
Yeah,
or,
or it's
or
Cole
the next
Kmet.
week is Cole Kmet. So like you never know which guy is going to actually get
The ball.
the ball.
They're all
all the
decent,
time.
though.
So
and
they're
that-
all good. I think they're all solid plays.
all rosterable.
It's just
Yeah.
they're
Everyone
all,
he just mentioned is
yeah,
all of them
rosterable
should
and
be.
all playable, but it's a risky.
You just
play.
never know who's going to
So-
get it.
I believe you with the risky play.
It's a
That's
risky
a
play
great way
for
to
any
put
of
that
the
one.
receivers for the Bears. In the Cardinals, I think Kyler Murray is also a play if you have him. He's a play. James Conner is RB1.
Yep.
I would always play James Conner. And
Trey and MHJ. Trey McBride. It's bye weeks.
I think
I'm playing Trey.
I would play both McBride, and I am playing Harrison in the league, so I would play
Okay.
Harrison too. I think he's their best. He's still their best wide
Yeah.
receiver.
He's probably the best wide
you know,
receiver in
as a
this
rookie.
game.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so,
Maybe
too.
DJ Moore is better than him, but in this game, I think that he's second. Looking at fantasy, if I was to take any wide receiver out of this game, I would probably take MHJ, guys. If you have him, he's
Yeah.
on the Cardinals, he's number 1. Whereas Ben just mentioned a moment ago, the Chicago Bears did a good job of getting a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
And that causes in fantasy
Yeah.
for your guy to get less targets, less ball time.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing the Dunze, but I don't love it. I have to play him.
yeah, I think that your set
I
and
just don't
stone
have someone
starters
else.
for this game are going to be James Conner, DeAndre Swift, Kyler Murray, And those are three, like 100%. Those guys.
Yeah,
start.
that's 100% those guys start. Everyone else
Has a
Yeah.
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you have options here? Who do you think wins this game, Ben?
I think the Cardinals win this game.
I also no, I don't. I think the Bears win this game. I forgot for a second who I took. I am going to take the Bears in this game. I think Caleb Williams really makes up for last week. The whole Bears team is kind of mad about the whole Hail Mary situation. I think they give it 110%. I'm going Bears.
I'm with you.
You're going
same,
Bears?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
We'll
think
see
their
how it
defense
pans
is.
out.
I think their defense is also solid.
Their defense is good.
And
They have
Arizona
names.
doesn't have a great defense.
They don't. And Buda Baker is subject to trade. I don't understand why. It's just always at this year he comes up is, are they going to trade him away? And he's always like, I'm a Cardinal, bro. Next game is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on
With
your
my-
best buddy,
my
Mr.
be-
Butt Touch,
my boy.
Jalen Hurts, and the Philadelphia Eagles, the most unathletic quarterback in the NFL.
Oh no way! He's
I'm just
more.
kidding. He's not that bad. In this game, there are some injury updates that I did want to bring to your attention. Brian Thomas Jr., it's not looking so hot that he's going to be playing in this game. Also, ETN really not fully practicing with that hamstring injury.
Tank Bigsby was also
Dinged up.
dinged up.
Oh, boy.
He had a. Let me get there.
I think it was his hand, too, wasn't it? Scroll back.
Ankle.
Ankle. Okay, so leg. Did he practice in limited form this week?
He did. A couple times, I believe. Limited on Wednesday. I think he was limited all week.
Okay, so he's limited all week, but I think he'll play. I think
Tank
Bigsby's
Bigsby.
okay,
Yeah, probably.
Looking at other starters for this week, I think that your main starters for this game are A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley,
I'm starting Smith too.
and Smith. Outside of that, the Jaguars are going to be really, really, really short on wide
Yeah.
receivers. If Thomas is out and Christian Kirk is out for the season, that really doesn't put a lot of firepower in the
Yeah, it's Gabe Davis and Parker Washington.
Yeah, Gabe Davis and Parker Washington will be the starting wide receivers, and I do not like either of them in this game. The only person on the Jaguars, other than Tank Bigsby, as long as he plays, that I would consider starting is probably Evan Ingram. Other than that, I'm
Yeah, but that's
completely out on the
Yeah,
Jags.
that's a brutal. We've
Yeah.
been out on the Jags, but that's
Yeah.
a brutal take. Yeah, like
So
Evan Ingram.
this one is just matchup. This is just because of the matchup they have.
And the other thing is it's bye weeks, so tight ends. Like if Evan Ingram's an okay, pick him up and play him
Yeah.
kind of player if he's available for you.
It feels bad though if you have to play Evan Ingram.
Yeah, he's been doing okay.
we're
in
all
his
in,
return.
we're all in agreement. We're taking the Eagles.
Yeah, we're all taking the Eagles in this
Yeah.
game here,
And
guys.
I am playing Evan Ingram.
Are you? Next game.
My bad.
I'm playing him over Ferguson though. I have
Okay.
Ferguson. I'm playing over Ferguson.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so if you're in
Jeez.
chat or if you're watching here and you're trying to figure out if you want to play Ferguson or Ingram, looks like Ben's going with Ingram in this situation. Next game I wanted to talk about, NFC West divisional matchup. This is going to be the Seahawks hosting the LA Rams. LA Rams all back. Everyone's playing. Everyone's healthy. Well, other than Bigsby. Is that how you say it?
Puka
Bigsby,
Nacua is out
or-
again.
Tyler Higbee. Sorry.
Higbee.
Yeah, Tyler Higbee's the only one who is not back.
Tyler
today.
Puka's out again.
Is he? No.
I heard on the radio. I swear to God, today I heard on the radio he's out again.
His
No.
knee injury wasn't to be considered serious from the last report that I read. But let's get
I'm
Ben,
not sure.
Take a look and find that out for me. I'm gonna go over this game a little bit here, guys. I took the Rams in this game. I think that the Rams offense is going to be able to produce here with Kyron Williams and Cooper Kupp and hopefully Puka Nacua, which
Is
we'll find
expected
out.
to play.
He's
He's
expected to
expected to
play.
play?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm taking the Rams. I think the full firepower really, the Seahawks won't be able to handle it as well as one would expect. Even though this game is in Seattle, which is home of the Big 12 loudest stadium in the NFL.
I'm
but
taking Seattle.
You're taking Seattle.
Yep.
Who are you taking, Ben?
I think the Rams roll.
You
in
think the
this
Rams
one.
roll in this game? Okay, all right, let's go. You and me on the same team. This Luber Duber over here is taking the
Seattle
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I think the Seahawks are on trending down.
Yeah, I think they're trending
they're
down, too.
collapsing.
I think that
I do agree that they are trending down and the Rams are trending more up, but I still am taking the Seahawks.
Now, here, let me add a little bit of notes in here for you. DK Metcalf will not be playing once again. He is.
Oh, yeah, he's
out this
Oh.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
No,
change
no,
it.
no,
I'm not gonna change
no,
it. I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna
You
change
should
it.
have done your
stick-
research before you
Yeah, I was
came
in Mexico.
live on the podcast.
You stick to your guns,
Too
mister.
bad, buddy. He's got the Seahawks. So for this game, fantasy starts. I'm going to go with K9. I'm going to go with Kyron Williams, Cup. I'm going to go with Puka. And then for wide receivers on the Seattle Seahawks, the only one that I'm taking is JSN.
Yeah.
And you could start Stafford as well, guys. In 2 QB, I think he's good. Super flex, I think he's good. And if you're struggling at quarterback one or you have a bye week, I think that Stafford's a good fill-in as well.
Yeah,
you
I
could-
agree.
You could play Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I said K9.
Oh, did I didn't hear you
K9,
say it.
Yeah.
So he's taking the Seahawks. We're taking the Rams, guys. Only a couple games left.
This
'cause of
is the
bye
best
weeks.
game for the 4:00 game.
Here's the best 4 o'clock game. This is going to be the NFC North rivalry matchup. The Detroit Lions, who I ranked as #1 in the NFL at the midway point of the season, will be heading up to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Looks like Jordan Love is expected to play. Doesn't look like there's anybody carrying an injury designation in on their offense this week. They've got everybody. Who do you think wins this game, Ben? It's a hard one to
I think the
pick.
Packers win this one at home.
Okay, you think they split this year?
I think they split. I think they win this one, yeah, especially at home.
Okay. All right. Lou, which way you leaning?
I was leaning Packers.
You're leaning-
It's tough though. Like, yeah, but I'm leaning Packers.
Pack is back. Go
Yeah,
Pack,
I'm-
go.
Yeah, go Pack, go.
All right. I'm running with the Motor City Kitty Committee. I just think that the pair of running backs that they have and the offensive genius they have at offensive coordinator is going to be what puts them over in this game. I think that's going to be what wins them the game.
Do you know who their wide receivers coach is?
Yes, it's Antoine
Yeah,
Randall.
Antoine
Yeah.
Randall, former
Yes,
Steeler.
sir. Yes, sir.
man.
I like my Detroit Lions. They're great, dude. Taking a look at some fantasy stuff here, guys, for this game. Jaden Reed has been on the downward trend in the last couple weeks. I think he's a buy low player if you can get him for the rest of the season. I don't think his season is over.
I think
form
he's
of-
heavily used in this game.
Yeah, I think he's going to start producing again here. I think it was just a matter of his ankle injury slowing him down a little bit. So for the Packers side, I have Jordan Love, I have Josh Jacobs, I have Jaden Reed, and I have Romeo Dobbs. That would be who I would start, and Tucker Kraft. So you got 5 guys there on that side. For the Detroit Lions, it's a little bit slimmer, and the reason being is because they spread the ball around so freaking much. But I've got Gibbs, I've got Montgomery, I've got Sun God Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then I've got Laporta.
Do you have Laporta though? Do you really have Laporta?
Yeah, he's
Is he
been doing a little bit better. Plus, again with bye weeks, or if you had
guess.
the ability to buy him low while he's been doing not so great,
Yeah.
you got to play him. Jared Goff, I don't know, because again, they spread the ball around so much in so many unique ways that in the last game they didn't even have 100 passing yards.
Yeah,
They won 51-14.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's
actually.
like I don't really love Jared Goff for fantasy. In real life, I think he's
I believe he's
great.
like in MVP contention.
Yes. So don't let me get that twisted. I do like Jared Goff as a quarterback. Just in fantasy football, I don't think that he holds a lot of value because of how good his team is.
This is like maybe the weirdest week of football.
It
games
is a weird
ever.
week of football. How about this one, though? A rematch of the biggest comeback in NFL history will be on Sunday Night Football. Do you remember this game, Ben? The Vikings taking on the Colts, and the Vikings were losing 33-0.
Yeah.
And they came back and won.
Yep.
Jesus.
I remember
Yes.
that game.
That game was awesome. I remember that game very vividly. I was sitting on the couch going, man, Justin Jefferson's getting me no points right now. And then he ended with 34, and I was like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna be needed this Sunday night.
No, I don't think this is going to be something that is an extreme blowout, guys.
Joe Flacco.
The breaking news of the week was Joe Flacco is taking over at quarterback. Real quick, you weren't here. I want to get your opinion on Anthony Richardson being too tired on third and goal and taking a playoff by tapping his helmet. What do you think about that?
That's pretty whack. It's
Pretty pathetic,
whack. Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I get being tired. I'm tired all the time. I'm not an NFL quarterback.
You're paid millions of dollars to not be tired, brother. Like, get out of here.
I'm not a NFL quarterback.
I think that there are a lot of people in this game that can be considered starters for this week. Firstly, though, I think that the Vikings win this game Ben, who are you taking in this AFC NFC Sunday night football game?
Vikings.
You're taking the Vikings
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
taking the Vikings.
You think it's a defensive thing that takes them to the victory?
Yeah,
Me too.
because they have what's his name as a D coordinator.
Oh
He was with the
yeah,
Steelers.
yeah.
He was the head coach for Miami Dolphins.
It'll come to me in a second.
I know.
Why can none of us
Why
think of
can
it?
none
Brian
of us-
Flores.
Brian
Brian
Flores, thank
Flores.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
He's
Lou.
a mastermind.
Sheesh.
He's a
Yeah, he
blitzing
is good.
mastermind. Who do you think wins this game there, Louis?
I
You're wearing purple.
I think the Vikings, but like
Is that why
part
you
of
wore
part of I'm golden purple. This big Vikings guy right here.
Two chains, Luby Doobie with the hot takes. All right.
No, I'm taking the Vikings,
Yeah?
but part of me thinks that Joe Flacco could like have
A monster game?
a Sunday night football monster game,
I
and like
agree
air it out.
completely. I agree completely. What I think for this game is that Joe Flacco, like we've talked about before, he is a major increase in performance for any wide receiver on the Colts side of the football.
Yeah.
So I think that allows, and now Michael Pittman Jr. does have a back injury. I still think he's an okay flex play for you, especially with bye weeks here. I think Josh Downs is wide receiver 1 if we're talking about wide receivers coming out of the Colts this week. I think he's the best option
Is
for you.
Pierce a
Yes.
play?
I wouldn't necessarily love Pierce, but he's
he's
a
a-
risky play if you really
Yeah.
need somebody in a
He's
deep
a
format.
desperate flex.
All he needs is one deep catch for a touchdown.
Yeah,
which is
which
what
he
he's good
can,
for.
Which is he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it a bunch of times
JT?
already this year.
JT, a big play for this game, I think. I think he'll do all right regardless of the Vikings defense being good. JT's a talent. Aaron Jones is a play, I believe. Other than that, it's Justin Jefferson. It's Addison. I mean, dude, the Vikings
Yeah.
get Hawkinson back this week.
Yep.
Like, they are stacked. I'm pretty happy with any of their starters, and that's JJ, Addison, Hawkinson, Jones, or
you
you
start-
go Darnold too. I would go Darnold as well as a starter, or Flacco. I think either of those are decent QB2s or super flex players or bye week fillers.
I've had Hawkinson in my IR spot.
Me too.
In
I'm
the
playing him
league.
this week, baby. I'm so hyped.
I have Kyle Pitts though.
Yeah, same.
I would
him in
not
the league.
start Hawkinson over Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
no.
no, I'm not either.
No,
I was
not
going to
at all.
pose the question.
Last game here, guys, that we want to cover for this week. This is going to be the Buccaneers and Chiefs. This game, man, I just really wish that this Monday Night Football game could be Baker Mayfield really balling out and beating the Chiefs. I don't necessarily seeing him having the ability to without Godwin and Evans. I do think he keeps the game close. I think that Baker's going to do good in this game. I just don't think that with what they have, what they're able to put on the field right now, that they're going to be able to beat the
I
Chiefs.
agree.
Ben,
I hate
you?
that.
Yeah, I'm on the same
Same boat, right?
same boat with you.
It's like Baker's great right now.
Yeah, I would like this game for the Buccaneers way more if he had Mike Evans or Godwin.
But, yeah.
But like I think
weeks.
they could still pull it off somehow.
I'm rooting for
Taking
him.
the Chiefs? What's the over-under on that one, sir? You have to.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah,
taking the
you have
Chiefs.
to.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But my heart wants to take
I
the
don't
Bucs.
want to, but like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at some fantasy starters for this one while Lou looks up.
This
the
is a
line.
9.5. Plus
9.5
plus
again?
9.5 Bucks.
Okay.
Okay,
then-
no,
Okay.
if I would take the Bucks
Yeah, then I'm
plus
taking-
9.5.
yeah.
I would take the
I'm
Bucks
taking
plus
Bucks
9.5
plus
as well.
9.5 as well.
Oh, guys,
And it's 45.5 on the over.
I'm also taking the over. Guys, I got a bet for you after this one, and it's going to be a big money baller bet. I got to figure out how much it's going to be worth for me. But for the Buccaneers, it's pretty slim pickings. White has done a lot better now that there aren't wide receivers on the field. So he's been getting a lot of passes. He's been doing well in that effect. I think he's an okay play for you guys. What about Bucky? Is he hurt?
So he's got a toe issue, and he's listed as questionable.
Has he been limited this week at least?
He didn't practice Thursday or Friday.
That's
He
not looking
practiced.
good.
He
Looking
limited.
good.
He practiced limited today.
Limited today. I still just don't think that means he plays, guys. And plus, he's a Monday night football game. I would leave Bucky off. I wouldn't play Bucky this week. I would have a backup plan. It sounds like Bucky's not going to be playing, and you'll be stuck
Yeah.
with the only possibility is Sean Tucker if he's in your free agency at that point in time. Other Buccaneers that I would go with. So Buccaneers side, I'm going White. I'm going Otten. I'm going Mayfield. On the Chiefs side of the football, I'm going with D-Hop. I'm going Travis Kelce, and I'm going Kareem Hunt. I am not going Patrick Mahomes.
Did D-Hop have a game yet?
I don't know that he had a game, but I am assuming that he's going to be getting a lot of
Yeah,
targets
he's gonna
for
be-
PPR.
Yeah.
So
Because he played a good amount of snaps last week in his
Yes,
first game
his
with them.
first
So
one.
and now he's going to be fully up to speed with Mahomes in that
I could
playbook.
dig that.
yeah, I think that those are your three starters for there. I would.
So
stay away
I'm
from
going to
Mahomes.
disagree with you on that. I think Mahomes is a play now
You do?
because they have a wide receiver.
Okay. Would you play Baker over Mahomes? I would.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, that's all the games for this week. But I did want to add so that my bet for the week now, guys, now that we've kind of gone over some spreads and stuff like that, what I'm going to suggest for you is I'm going to say take the over in the Ravens and Broncos game. I'm going to say take the Broncos 9.5 plus. And then I'm going to say take the Buccaneers plus 9.5 and take the over in that game as well. Did you have any bets or anything you wanted to cover?
I'm taking plus 9.5 on the Broncos, 100%.
Okay, not the Bucs.
Maybe even the money line. The money line, I believe, was like 280, but 9.5 feels safe. I think I'm doing 9.5. Maybe the Bucks. Scroll up a little bit. I think I'm taking the Eagles
The Eagles. Okay,
because that should be easy.
the Eagles playing the
And
Jaguars.
then you know what? As a risky like small money, I said I was taking. I'm taking the Raiders over the Bengals. I don't know what the money line is on that, but I'd maybe throw $5
hate
on that.
one. I hate that one.
A little, you got a little baby bet pay out well.
But yeah, other than that, this week has a lot of tight rivalry matchups, guys. So be careful with your bets. Is going to be a lot of shockers, a lot of witching hour situations, I believe, in the 1 o'clock hour. So be careful with betting. I would stick with the Broncos, Ravens, and then the Buccaneers, Chiefs. Usually a 9.5 stat lets you know that you have some signs, some red flags that you can go after, and that's something that we like to
Yeah.
pinpoint out and have done science to show that it does work.
It does seem to work.
So, Ben, did you have anything else you wanted to cover for this week? I did want to ask Louis a little bit about his trip to Mexico. If you didn't have any other bets or anything.
No, let's hear about Lou's trip
Oh,
to
Yeah,
Mexico.
man.
Mexico.
How was it Mexico?
Mexico was so sweet. It was like the greatest time, seeing all my family, drinking,
Yeah.
pessimist juice. I don't know if I can say beer, but
No,
margarita.
yeah, you're on vacation. You're allowed to have all the cervezas you want.
I got
brother.
my head not too burnt anymore. You should have seen it though that
Oh
first
man,
day.
yeah, he looked roasted.
The
the
food
other
was
day.
good. The times was good. Couldn't beat it.
You went for a wedding, is that not?
I went for my cousin's wedding.
Okay. Well, at that point, I would like to go to our.
TikTok.
Yeah, I'd like to go to our live, but
Seems like we're
it
offline.
seems like we're offline right now, so I can't see it. Ben, why don't you just grab my phone right there, and we can go off it from there, guys. If you are watching here with us on YouTube and Spotify today, just want to shout out you guys. A lot of you have been reaching out to us, letting us know that you've been watching, that you're liking what the podcast has been turning into.
we really appreciate
And
it.
we really appreciate it. If you're new here and this is your first time, make sure you're slapping that subscribe button. We really want to hear from you, and we want to add you into our fantasy and football community. We will be adding more sports on as we go along. We're just in our beginning phases. We're just learning.
Yeah.
We'll do
Yeah,
some
we
UFC. We're going to get some basketball and hockey
Yeah.
in later in the season.
It's football season though right
It's
now.
football
So you
right
gotta
now.
go to
Football. It's all about
season.
football until football ends.
Yeah.
Exactly right. But hey, yeah, if you are watching with us on YouTube or Spotify, once again, just want to thank you. We'll be ending the recording from here, but if you're watching live, stay in the chat here because we're going to be going with you guys to our Q&A portion of the afternoon. We're going to go over any of your questions for your starters or sits for fantasy football this week.